With the Quincy Sternritter finally coming to Bleach Brave Souls at some point in the near future anyway, I've decided to start doing a series where I attempt to predict the movesets of certain Sternritters, and then we'll see how accurate they are when they finally come out. We've so far done videos for Askin Naklavar and Asnot, and this time, thanks to your guys' votes, we've got Sternritter E the Explode, Bambietta Bastabine. Before we begin with this video, however, guys, I just want to say please hit subscribe and support the channel. I would really appreciate it. We are growing. I think at the time of this video, we've just passed 800 subs. I really appreciate the support, and it's a big milestone for me. The channel's been sort of stuck in the 700s now for at least 3 years. So to hit that 800 subs is just really great. And hopefully we'll soon go to 1,000 and just keep going from there. So if you'd hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. And give the video a like, that would be awesome. And another bit of housekeeping, if you've seen the other two videos, you'll probably know this already, but Bambietta's moveset was created with the help of my good friend S. Carassa, who has also created a cheat sheet for this character, just like he did for Asnot, which I'll put up on the screen now. And you can see all of the information pertaining to Bambietta and how she'll play in Brave Souls. Now, Bambietta is more similar to Asnot than Askin in that she doesn't have a multitude of abilities. She has one all-encompassing power, which is the Explode, and then she just kind of uses that in a variety of different ways in the fight with Komamura. There's not a huge amount of depth to this ability, really. It just kind of pertains to blowing stuff up. But I think we've created a pretty interesting way of using it. And we've also tried to take not some risks, but we've done some things differently with Bambietta to help her stand out from the crowd. As you can see from the cheat sheet, we've gone with power for this character, but really she could be any attribute. She's another SP character with an impressive SP of 788, and she is the Quincy Sternritter affiliation with an Arankar killer. The fact that her killer is Arankar is a reference to the way Zombietta fights Charlotte Coolhorn in the fight with Miuri. Just thought that was a neat way of changing things up rather than having them all be Shinigami killer. So that's her kind of basic character profile. Moving into her moveset itself, her Nad string, as you can see on the sheet, we've actually made her a melee character as opposed to a ranged character. That's kind of weird for a Quincy, I know, but again, like I said, we wanted to make things a bit different with this character. Cast your minds way back to the very first invasion of the Sternritter, and Bambietta is actually using a sword as her spirit weapon. This sword never ever shows up again. It's not in the second invasion, she literally never uses it again. But it's really cool. I think it helped made a cool first impression of this character, and we wanted to put this weapon in somewhere. So her Nad string is a 3-hit slash from her sword. She does 1/2, then 3, and then it ends with an explosion at the end of the 4-hit Nad. I think it's cool. I think it's cooler than just giving her another ranged ability. It would probably just be her throwing her bombs, which she's going to do anyway in this moveset. So I think giving her sword is a way of staying true to the character, but also referencing how she was when she first appeared. Like I said, she's more similar to Asnot than she is to Askin in that she doesn't have that many abilities. But unlike Asnot, her Volstendig doesn't really change her. Asnot gets obviously an entire transformation, he looks completely different, and his fear works in different ways. With Bambietta, it's more of the same, she just seems to get wings and a halo. Obviously her explosions are incredibly powerful in her Volstendig, but I feel that the best way to showcase this character is to have her be in Volstendig constantly. You know, then she gets the cool wing effect the whole time, the cool halo the whole time. I really don't think it would take anything away from her to be in her Volstendig form. I just think she's not likely to have a transformative ultimate. So I think constant Volstendig for Bambietta makes a lot of sense. Her SA1 is similar to, say, Tech Aizen's SA1. I'm talking about Flyzen, not the Fierce Battle one, where he just sort of lunges forwards. She would do this with her sword again. I think using the sword would be interesting, and there'd probably be some kind of fire effect, as well as, you can see on the cheat sheet, every ability procs burn. Of course, she's going to have burn on her abilities. But the forward lunge attack for SA1, again, it's pretty simple but quite effective, and I think some kind of maybe spiraling fire attack would be really awesome. Obviously, a Quincy, her fire is probably going to be blue, so I think that would add to the visuals and make it look really cool. There isn't really a reference for this in the manga, but she doesn't. I really didn't want, coming into this character, every single ability to just be stuff blows up. So I think that would be really neat, her kind of diving forwards with the weapon. I think that'd be a cool SA1. Her SA2, I think, is probably where we really start seeing the Explode in action. I think the closest thing I can think of in my mind is Thousand Year Blood War Hitsugaya, the power version, where he just sort of, or maybe even Mugetsu Ichigo, where they just send like a wave of attacks in a straight line in front of them. Obviously hers would be a multitude of explosions, but I think this ability could look really cool. I can imagine it now. She just sort of maybe flings her arm up in the air, and then there's just like a row of spherical blue explosions. I think that would look really cool. And finally, her SA3, again, is going to be comparable to Mind Zombie Gaia, in that it's going to be one of these essays that hits just mostly in front of you in some kind of cone, and it's going to be obviously a massive swath of explosions. I can almost imagine her like opening her arms, the wings spread out, and there's just like a cone of explosions just completely destroy the land, mostly in front of her though. I couldn't necessarily see it happening behind as well. I think in this ability it would be like a thrust forward. She just swings her arm, and everything blows up in front of her. Now the only other ability I could maybe see as an SA, potentially SA2, and this is before the fight with Komamura, when she's searching for the other Fenritters, and she kind of rages out, and this like ball of explosion almost like forms around her. I could maybe see like that as an SA2, and I think this is just off the top of my head because I've kind of come up with this right now on the spot. A character that would be similar to that is Heart Ulquiorra, the very original Segunda Etapa Ulquiorra. I think this is SA3. He kind of goes like that, and there's like a sphere of energy. I could totally see that for her SA2 as well, actually. I think that would be really cool. Just a big ball of fire. I could see that. I could maybe even see that instead of the one we've chosen. I don't know. I think that's a matter of personal preference. I could see either. And then for her ultimate, I could see the animation being a combination of different parts of the Komamura fight. I think she would probably start off by flying into the air. And if you remember in the Komamura fight, when she flies, she leaves like a jet trail in the shape of a heart. I could totally see that. She goes up into the air, turns around and just unleashes explosions everywhere. Obviously it's a total full screen attack. And it would probably be reminiscent of this panel where you get like almost like an aerial view of her. You look down on her and she's like looking down on the ground, and then there's just a massive wave of explosions. That's what I could see for her ultimate. I think it'd be really cool to chain that in with the heart jet trail and then going up over her. I think it'd be really dynamic, actually. I think that could be something really awesome. Her quote, I wasn't entirely sure what to put for this one. I went with her probably most philosophical quote, I guess, because she doesn't really have too many of those. But it's what she says to Komamura about if you throw your life away in battle, then where's the point in winning? I thought this was quite interesting because it gives us an interesting insight into Bambietta's mind and the fact that she thinks that the only way to win in a fight is to survive. But obviously for Komamura, there was a deeper meaning to that fight. So I think that could definitely be it. But honestly, it could be kind of anything with her. I don't think it's going to be a Zombietta line. I think it definitely would be more likely to be a line when she's her normal self. So I went with that one. I think that makes a lot of sense. And that's pretty much it for Bambietta. A pretty simple, straightforward character. Inflicts burn on everything. Melee character instead of ranged, because I think that would be really neat. I think it'd be really cool to see her using her sword rather than just being another ranged Quincy. A Rankar killer to reference Zombietta, but I don't think you put too much Zombietta in there because she's definitely... well, she seems more powerful as herself, which I think is the character we want to reflect here. And then, yeah, just constant Volstendig, really getting across the aggression in the visuals, the explosions everywhere. I think that could be a really fun character. I think it would be a really cool character. And I think, personally, that Bambietta is clearly going to be one of the first Sternritter we get. She was one of the first Sternritter we ever saw, and she helped make an impression by stealing Komamura's Bankai in the first invasion. Personally, I'm still sticking with those 4 Bankai stealers will be the first banner of Sternritters as Bambietta, Kang, and BG9. I can see that, and if that ever happens, I'm going to lose my mind. So hopefully that'll happen soon. But yeah, that was our video for Bambietta, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think of her moveset, and of course, tell me who you want to see next. Bambietta was the most voted for in the last time, so let me know what Sternritter you want to see next. And I'm going to put these Sternritter videos into like a playlist on the channel, so if you've missed any of them, go and check them out. They're a lot of fun to make. But that's it for this video, guys, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.